In February 2024, the Russian state-owned company Sovcomflot was placed under sanctions by the United States. 14 tankers were adopted to the U.S. Treasury Department's list of restricted vessels. As a result, the total number of such tankers reached 21. Because of this, at the end of March, the Indian company Reliance Industries, the country's largest oil refiner, refused to supply oil from Russia by Sovcomflot vessels. In order not to lose profits, Moscow decided to change the flags on its ships, Bloomberg reports. According to the agency, at least 4 tankers were renamed, with Gabon flags raised instead of Russian ones.
Tankers often change names after being sanctioned in order to distance themselves from listings on sanctions databases, although they remain identifiable by unique and unchanging numbers registered with the International Maritime Organization, from Bloomberg publication.
According to the world's largest shipbroker, Clarkson Research Services, Sovcomflot remains the largest owner of Aframax tankers. Each such vessel is capable of carrying about 700,000 barrels of oil.
Russia needed a shadow fleet in order to be able to transport oil at a higher price and make more money. The basis of Russian exports is hydrocarbons, and they are delivered either to Europe. But here we see a decrease from 2022, or to other countries for which a fleet is needed.
Using the shadow fleet for exporting oil and oil products allows Moscow to sell energy resources above the price cap. According to Reuters, by March 2023, the number of vessels in the Federation's shadow fleet secretly transporting Iranian oil had reached 300.
This shadow fleet was bought practically all over the world, and they did not pay much attention to the conditions of these ships. The most important thing was to buy. The main focus was to have the necessary capacity and the required volumes. These ships have been in operation for quite a long time.
Moscow uses its ships not only to transport raw materials. The commander of the Swedish Navy confirmed Russia's shadow fleet in the Baltic Sea may be engaged in espionage. There is evidence that some ships were used for signaling reconnaissance, in other words, interception of communications.
We find antennas and masts that don't usually belong to fishing vessels, for example. So it's understandable that we feel like things that move in the sea sometimes have other purposes related to their activities.
Ships can also be used in hybrid operations, the Swedish Navy commander explained. For example, a foreign vessel could enter a Swedish port under the guise of searching for an emergency port due to an accident. At least one shadow tanker has already had technical problems near the Swedish island of Gotland. In addition, Finland and Sweden feared that outdated shadow tankers could cause an oil spill in the Baltic Sea. Prior to this, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk said that the Russian shadow fleet should not sail in the Baltic Sea. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.